Hello students, welcome back to our online class with Best English School and with me, your English teacher. So today in this video we would like to start our poem Chivvy. It's Chivvy, Chivvy. It's Chivvy. So students, in the previous video we have completed the chapter, right? The ashes that trees made bloom. So in the same chapter there is a poem part, and you all know that whenever I start a poem I make sure that I will make you write summary. So in this poem Chivvy there would be summary also. So be ready for it and enjoy this video students, and if you have any query so you can ask me below comment. Okay students, so this whole poem is divided into 3 stanza. So while stanza I will make you understand. So firstly we will start to read the poem. Okay. Grown up says things like, speak up, don't talk with your mouth full, don't stare, don't point, don't pick your nose, sit up, say please, less noise, shut the door behind you, don't drag your feet, haven't you got a hanky? Take your hands out of your pockets. Pull your socks up. Stand up straight. Say thank you. Don't interrupt. No one thinks you are funny. Take your elbows off the table. Can't you make your own mind up about anything? So these are the stanza 1, 2 and 3, and this whole poem is written by Michael Rosen. Who is Michael Rosen? So students, they are having 4 question answers. We will do this question answers later on. Now let's start it the summary part of the poem Chivvy. So this one is short introduction, Chivvy summary in English. The poem Chivvy is a catalogue of various do's and don'ts that the grown-ups dictate to young children. The adults constantly give a list of instructions to the children about how to sit, how to talk, how to eat, and so on. The poem, however, indicates a passage of time when the young child has grown up and is incapable of taking a decision on his own. The same adults then cheat the grown up child for not being able to think independently. So, students, in the poem Chivvy, it's all कैटलाइज्ड बाय डूज एंड डोंट्स, मतलब क्या करना चाहिए एंड क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. एंड डेट हु टीच दिस टू whom? The grown ups, the adults teach this to the young children. The adults means जो बड़े लोग हैं. दे मेक लिस्ट ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस टू द चिल्ड्रेन कि इस तरह से बैठना चाहिए, इस तरह से खाना चाहिए, इस तरह से बात करना चाहिए, एंड एक्सेट्रा 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 स्टूडेंट्स. So what happened? That indicates a passage of time that when the young child has grown up and is incapable of taking a decision of his own. मतलब जो बच्चे होते हैं फिर जब बड़े हो जाते हैं फिर they are not able to take their decision by his own होप्स, मतलब क्योंकि हमेशा एडल्ट्स ने ही उनको गाइड किया होता है कि ये करो, वो करो, ये मत करो, वो मत करो. तो लाइक दैट वे दे टुक देयर डिसीजन बाय हिज ओन वे. दे कांट टेक देयर डिसीजन, they can't take their own decision. That's why the same adults grown up children told to think independently. तो इसमें क्या बोल रहा है कि द ग्रोन अप चाइल्ड फॉर नॉट बीइंग एबल टू थिंक इंडिपेंडेंटली. तो दैट्स द रीज़न जो जब लोग बच्चे बड़े होते हैं तो वो अपने रिलेटेड इंडिपेंडेंटली कोई डिसीजन नहीं ले पाते हैं. दिस इज़ अ शॉर्ट इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ द पोएम Chivvy. Now Stanza by stanza, we will discuss it. So let's see the first stanza. One more time, we will read this stanza. Grown up say things like speak up, don't talk with your mouth full, don't stare, don't point, don't pick your nose. So, students, reference the above lines have been taken from Michael Rosen's poem Chivvy. Contest. The poet points out to a series of instructions given by the grown-ups. Explanation. The poem opens with a long list of instructions. In all likelihood, these instructions are being issued by the adults to their young ones. Speak up, don't talk while your mouth is full of food, and so on, are just a few examples. So, students, in the stanza 1, the poet wanted to tell us that the adults have make a long list of instructions. जो एडल्ट्स उन्होंने बहुत सारे इंस्ट्रक्शंस दिए हैं बच्चों को जो यंग वंस होते हैं कि ये सारे इंस्ट्रक्शंस यू हैव टू फॉलो इट. फॉर एग्जांपल दैट इज़ अच्छे से बात करो, स्पीक अप, डोंट टॉक वाइल योर माउथ इज़ फुल ऑफ फूड, मतलब आपके मुंह में जब खाना हो तब आपको बात नहीं करनी चाहिए. एंड ऐसे बहुत सारे चीज़ें हैं जो एडल्ट्स बच्चों को बोलते हैं. सी स्टूडेंट्स, एवरी टाइम द एडल्ट्स आर माइट नॉट बी रॉन्ग, क्योंकि वो हमेशा वाई द एडल्ट्स टेल अस अबाउट दैट वन, बिकॉज वी विल बिहेव, द स्मॉल चिल्ड्रन विल बिहेव properly. That's why the adults guide them. They are not giving instructions. But yeah, जो सही चीज़ है वो तो सही चीज़ है ही, right students? Now we will see the stanza 2. Sit up, say please, less noise, shut the door behind you, don't drag your feet, haven't you got a hanky? Take your hands out of your pockets. So students, the reference, the above lines have been taken from Michael Rosen's poem Chivvy. Contest. The poet continues to put an emphasis on how the young children are directed to act in accordance to the instructions issued by the adults. Explanation. The second stanza of the poem continues with yet another set of instructions. Each and every activity of the young child is administered and put under the surveillance of the grown-ups. So what happens, students? The poet wanted to tell us that in the second stanza is a lot of another set of instruction. मतलब जैसे फर्स्ट स्टेंजा में इंस्ट्रक्शंस थे एज वेल एज सेम इन द सेकेंड स्टेंजा ऑल्सो दे आर हैविंग अ लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस लाइक द एवरी एक्टिविटी ऑफ यंग चाइल्ड इज़ एडमिनिस्टर्ड. मतलब वो लोग जो भी बोल रहे हैं उनको मानना पड़ेगा. तुमने ये नहीं लाया, तुमने वो नहीं ले आया, तुम इस तरह से खड़े मत हो, यू हैव टू शट द डोर बिहाइंड यू. लाइक दीज टाइप ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस आर डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन दे यूज टू गिव द स्मॉल चिल्ड्रन. सो दीज टाइप ऑफ सर्वेनेंस ऑफ द ग्रुप, मतलब एक ऑर्डर आप बोल सकते हो, ऐसे पेरेंट्स करते हैं या फिर एडल्ट्स करते. वी कैन से दैट द पेरेंट्स डू दैट वन. ऑल द एडल्ट्स जो बड़े लोग हैं वो सब ऐसे ही करते हैं. ओके, नाउ वी विल सी द स्टेंजा 3. स्टेंजा 3. पुल योर सॉक्स अप, स्टैंड अप स्ट्रेट, से थैंक यू, डोंट इंटरप्ट, नो वन थिंक्स यू आर फनी, टेक योर एल्बोज ऑफ द टेबल, कांट यू मेक योर ओन mind up about anything? Now we will see the summary. Reference the above lines have been taken from Michael Rosen's poem Chivvy. Contest. The poet showcases how the child is still being reprimanded by the adult, though the child has grown up. Explanation. The final couplet of the poem shows that perhaps the young child has grown up. However, the adults around him continue to reprimand him, but this time for a different reason. The child is unable to decide anything for himself. He is not certain about anything. It's quite ironical as the entire childhood of the child was spent blindly following the instructions. So, students, in the third stanza, the poet wanted to tell us that in the poem that now the young child has been grown up. तो जो यंग चाइल्ड थे, जो बच्चे थे, वो अब बड़े हो गए हैं. बट द एडल्ट्स नाउ, जो उसके बगल में एडल्ट्स है, वो अभी भी उन्हें रिप्रीमेंड करते, उन्हें अभी भी ऑर्डर देते कि नहीं, तुम्हें ही हमारी बातें माननी पड़ेगी. बट दिस टाइम देर इज़ अ डिफरेंट रीज़न. इस बार कुछ डिफरेंट रीज़न है. ये रीज़न ये है कि द चाइल्ड इज़ नाउ अनएबल टू डिसाइड एनी थिंग फॉर हिमसेल्फ. मतलब जो चाइल्ड अब जो ग्रोन अप हो गया, वो अब अपने रिलेटेड कोई भी डिसीजन नहीं ले पा रहा है. वाई? बिकॉज इन द चाइल्डहुड द एडल्ट्स वेयर गिविंग देयर इंस्ट्रक्शंस, राइट. जो बड़े थे वो उन्हें इंस्ट्रक्शंस दे रहे थे. So now we can say that, students, that the childhood of the young children was spent blindly following the instructions. इसका मतलब ये है कि जो बच्चे हैं उन्होंने अपना बचपन ब्लाइंडली, मतलब बिना कुछ जाने पहचाने, कोई ऑब्जेक्शन बगैर, उन्होंने सारे के सारे इंस्ट्रक्शंस माने हैं, स्टूडेंट्स. सो दीज आर द poem Chivvy. But see, students, in my opinion, sometimes the adults are right and sometimes the adults are wrong also. Yeah, we are child, that's why we have to follow the instructions because they will guide us, right? But yeah, when we grow up, so we shouldn't have to leave them. We should have to see and conquer that which decision would be good enough for you, for us, students. Okay? So these were the poem Chivvy with summary, students. And your homework is that you have to write the whole poem stanza by stanza in your notebook and learn this summary, because in your examination I would definitely make you give this summary part. Like I will make you write the stanza and you have to explain the whole stanza, okay, by your own words. Nor you can learn these explanations also, which I have shown you in the screen. So till there, do your homework, write it in your notebook and learn, and make sure that study properly, okay? So till there, I will see you in the next video with next topic. So stay home, stay safe. With the help of these lines, I would like to pack up. So bye bye and have a nice day, students.